What is the importance? Is it important? So if you look at the poem, if we were talking about Poe's poem, Annabel Lee, the title is important because that's who the poem is about. So you start to say, okay, that also, as I'm looking at this, that begins to determine the context of the poem. All right? So basically what you're going to do, does the title give a specific setting? Well, no, a title like Annabel Lee doesn't give us a setting, but it does determine subject, doesn't it? So you're going to use this sheet to take apart the poetry. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay? When it gets down to talking about language and imagery, don't just tell me the poet uses a lot of similes and a lot of metaphors and a lot of figurative language in the poem. You know what I'd probably say to you? Well, duh. That's what poetry is about, is figurative language. One of the definitions that I used to use for poetry all the time, and we'll use it again, it's poets use concentrated language. Concentrated, that means they have to tell a story, sometimes as important a story as a novelist or a short story writer has to tell, but they tell that story in a very compact form. So every single word is important. And every single word is chosen because it furthers their meaning along. So when you talk about imagery, if you notice that this poet relies on similes a lot, the next question should be what? Why? Why? How does that help me understand what he's talking about? What does this figurative language do? If I create a metaphor, you're going to read 3 poems about, one by Langston Hughes, one by a poet by the name of Richard Wilbur, and the other is actually a short little excerpt. It's not a poem, it's just a little short article about art and artistry. Each one compares art to something different. Now, why not just talk about art as art? Why compare it to life? Why compare writing to a new day and a blank page? I don't know. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Do you know why I do that, Larry? No? No?
I mean,
Yeah, what? Yeah. But why not? What's wrong with just saying, art is amazing? Stop. I'm done now. That's what I want to tell you, so that's all I'm writing. Yes?
That's boring. It's like you want to see what other people see with it. With like, if they look at art, what do you think of it? And then what do they think of that? And they think of what do you think of it?
Okay, Amari?
You do it to like get people interested.
Okay, so what would I have to define in this sentence? I have 3 words in this sentence. What needs to be defined?
Like art, make art cool.
Well, so first of all, don't I have to, what's art? What do I mean by art? What do I mean by art? Do I mean the art that you can see up on the wall? Do I mean the written word? Do I mean vocal, music? What is art? They all define as art. Do I mean my baby's face when she wakes up in the morning? What's art? Yes?
You want it to be able to be wherever the reader wants it.
Or I as a poet may have a definition of art, which I throw out there to you. But you as a reader, is it absolutely guaranteed that your definition of art is the same as mine? No. So I have to give you something to start with. And now you're expected to bring every single bit of who you are to this reading. Poetry just demands. Poetry is a very emotional thing. So first I have to define art and let you decide, oh yeah, okay, I can work with that. And not only can I understand that, but I'm going to add this part to it, and this part, and this part. And now I know. And then don't I have to define amazing? What does amazing mean? Art is amazing because it's such a waste of time? So how do I define amazing? How would I define amazing? Art is amazing because it makes me do what? Do you think art's amazing? Or maybe you're somebody who says, all that art stuff, it's hooey. It's hooey. Just give me a building. I'm fine. Or what do you define as art? Some of you may know. That Campbell soup can up there. Is that art? Is that art? Oh yes, the world recognizes that as art. The original of that painting, does anybody know the artist? Andy Warhol. Oh yeah. Major artist of the 60s and 70s. Petered off more in the 80s and 90s. He's dead now.